think. There you go. All right. Hi, stream. How you doing? We're getting
Hi,
started
Jack.
here. We're just gonna jump into it. So when we left off last time, you guys had just come out of the Pocket Dimension Vampire Den, and you were you had just like kind of recovered. So there's gonna be a lot of stuff. Essentially what's gonna happen here is we're gonna kind of bring what happened last time, do a little conclusion, post that, and then we are going to kind of go into like a 3 week, an in-game 3 week intermission period, where some stuff's happening, and we'll go over all that in just a second. But is there anything on this? Hi, welcome to Characters in Dice Out.
Yep. Got to get that screen out of the way.
Okay, let's get the
Oh,
disclaimer out of
and
the
this
way.
one.
This is a world of fiction. Names, characters, places, and incidents either are products of the GameMaster's imagination or used fictitiously. Any resemblance to actual events, locales, persons, living or dead, is either entirely coincidental or intentionally fictitious. The views and opinions expressed in this fictional world are those of its author, the GameMaster, do not necessarily reflect the views or opinions of the players. Similarly, the views and opinions expressed by the players and their characters are their own, do not necessarily reflect the views or opinions of the GameMaster. Season 1, The Coils of Manhattan. Stop that. Get that out of here. Episode 9, an interlude. 3 weeks of blood. So, if you recall, before last session, I think this was 2 sessions ago now, Adam Frank, you had found his dead body. And I believe he'd been holding a scrap of paper. That was a hint to something that we'll probably get into eventually here. But, he's dead. This is his obituary. I'm not going to read it. It's there. You know, it's neat. Right, this would have happened before you went to the Vampire Den, before the fog happened, before all that stuff. Basically, this was Camillus Consus and Jonathan Adams found Adam Frank dead. They also, in that same encounter, found that Tesla was missing. So now there is a large reward for information on his location. But he is, as far as you know, as far as anyone knows, missing currently.
Goddamn vampires.
In that encounter, you also realized that Solomon's box had disappeared. So you do not know where Solomon's box is. That was another thing that you guys lost in the upbringing of this. So I think normally the only person that actually has communication with Father Gabriel is Camillus, but you haven't heard from Father Gabriel since he was fighting the vampire outside of the. Actually, I think if you ever. No, I don't think you have. I think you haven't heard from Father Gabriel in person or like in any way that matters since he. Like, you haven't encountered him in person at all since he had been fighting that vampire outside of the Lockridge Brownstones. So there's been no contact, which isn't like completely a red flag, but as we get into what's happened in the interlude, you also haven't had contact with him, which begins to be a little suspicious as time goes on. So we'll kind of like pick up where you guys have left off at this point. So you would have essentially you regrouped kind of inside of the house, but outside of the Pocket Dimension Vampire Den. You had probably left. So when you arrive back to the Hotel Tularia, where you guys have been staying, where you've been based out of, it is gone. I keep forgetting I have to click the right thing. So the Hotel Tularia has gone. It has disappeared. So essentially we are rejoining at least your 2 characters for this moment right now. I'm assuming everyone is there, but just because you guys are here, and we'll get the others' reactions later, just so you understand what's happening. The hotel light is gone. So when you guys go back, right, you've just left that house. You've decided to return to regroup. The hotel area, it is gone when you return. That's where I'm going to leave the slideshow because I think we'll wait for everyone to get back before we continue on. But that is where we will pick up with your characters essentially before the intermission, and then the intermission will happen, and we'll pick up for the main encounter after that, if that makes sense. Okay, with that little recap out of the way, for now, also just generally know, okay, so that we've covered, right, Adam Frank is dead, Tesla's missing, the box of Solomon is gone, you haven't heard from Padre Gabriel, Hotel Talaria is gone. Also, over this 3-week intermission period, the 3 weeks of blood, Central Park is shut. So Sal's Crown, you remember the king of the Treedom, or the Tree Lord of the Treedom of Central Park, he's closed his kingdom to the outside world while this fog persists. So essentially in the 3 weeks of blood, that fog that you guys encountered last time has kind of taken over the whole city. A lot of bad shit is happening, and we'll get into all of that as we go forward. But as we've moved on, we're going to move into some of the technical stuff. This is all really boring. Sorry. We'll get to like actual encounter stuff in a bit and then what you do. But okay. So, you guys, just because this was announced off camera, so the viewers know, leveled up to level 5. Which means you've got time. And Nick, you could hold off too, because there's another thing that's gonna happen for your character that we'll get into.
Were we supposed to be level 4? I'm level 3.
You're level 3?
Well, you're a little behind. You should be level 5.
You should be level 5. We should have been level 4 going into that.
Yeah.
What I think happened is I updated all of my stats, but left at level 4. I'm gonna double check because I think I have spells of a level 4. Let me double check that quick.
Okay, I was about
But my sheet says 3, and I'm a little concerned. Let me check.
Okay. Well, we're gonna have plenty of time to do all that, so I'm gonna keep talking while you check. So as level 5 characters, that means by D&D terms we've moved into tier 2 of play. So as far as this is, I'm just gonna read straight from the DMG here. Level 5 through 10, Heroes of the Realm. This is the second tier of D&D play. By the time they reach this tier, adventurers have mastered the basics of their class features. Though they continue to improve throughout these levels, they have found their place in the world and have begun to involve themselves in the dangers that surround them. Dedicated spellcasters on the 3rd level spells at the start of this tier. Suddenly, characters can fly, damage large numbers of foes with fireball and lightning bolt spells, and even breathe underwater. They master 5th level spells by the end of the tier, and spells such as Teleportation Circle, Scrying, Flame Strike, Legend Lore, and Raise Dead can have a significant impact on their adventures. They start to acquire more permanent magic items, uncommon and rare runs as well, which will serve them for the rest of their careers. The fate of a region might depend on the adventures that characters of level 5 to 10 undertake. Depend on the adventures of that characters level 5 to 10 undertake. These adventurers venture into fearsome wilds and ancient ruins where they confront savage giants, ferocious hydras, fearless golems, evil Yuan-Ti, scheming devils, bloodthirsty demons, crafty mind flayers, and drow assassins. They might have a chance of defeating a young dragon that established a lair, but not yet extended its reach far into the surrounding territory.
Or a vampire in Manhattan.
Kind of strange, written right there.
Yeah, right there at the end, in invisible ink. Who would have thought?
Yeah, I had to break out the whole UV light and everything.
Shit, now I just lost that page and I'm going to need to read it later probably. Okay, well, I'll find it later. So basically what that means for you guys is we're going to introduce some new mechanics from a third-party source, and that's going to allow us to kind of dig into some of the more like political scheming that I think we're kind of alluding to so far, but we're definitely going to get into at this point. I will let you know at this point. I know, so like in the same way that Camillus had his little arc with Rage, who then became strength, who then became rage. This kind of arc of you guys getting all this stuff is going to be largely focused on Nick, your character Wilhelm, largely because of this political scheming stuff is very much your father's circle of intervention, and there's going to be a lot of interplay and your kind of character focus in that stuff. Just so you guys are aware, and Will, so you're aware, you're going to get some focus here that the other players are not, but that is all, again, because of backstory and other nonsense. And stuff we've been working towards with Aaron's letters and you sending money and so on and so forth. I'm trying to find. Oh, I was fucking one page off. Of course it was. Okay. So on that note, what tier 2 really means for us is a weak stronghold and little followers. And so what that means is that at tier 2, I tend to introduce the rules from MCDM's stronghold and followers. It's this whole rule set that allows you essentially to gain strongholds and followers. So the party at this point has gained a foothold in the region, in this place, obviously the party, and we're going to have to come up with a name for the party, but we'll get to that hopefully when everyone is here. But you've gained a foothold in the city for sure, and a small stronghold is established to serve as party base for operations. We're going to get into today how you get that stronghold and what it means to have that stronghold and to have a base of operations and to be like a political player in the city. Any patron the party may have had at this tier has taken some sort of step back. Obviously, for you, Tesla was your patron. He has disappeared mysteriously, which is going to be kind of a bit of the adventure thread as we go forward. And the party must learn at this tier how to handle itself on its own and live or die by its choices, and must begin to navigate the world of socio-political intrigue. Not all enemies should be killed, and not all allies should be trusted. Followers begin to coalesce around the party, expanding the responsibilities and influence of the individual characters. So there's a lot that's going to be going on. There's going to be a lot of more intricate intrigue stuff happening. On that note, one of the things that's going to happen is we are going to formally organize your party. Those are quotation marks in there. So one of the things that actually comes from a separate book by the same third-party company, MCDM, Kingdoms of Warfare. They have this system of essentially almost incorporating a party. So it's essentially you get these special roles within your party, like officer roles within your organization as a party, that allow you to have special abilities. So we're going to get into that. Again, all of this is going to feel real focused on Wilhelm's character, because you're a kind of... So essentially what's I'll put it this way. So the party's organization is going to have a front, and it's also going to have the thing that a front needs. If you need a front, you're of a certain business. You know what I mean? So there's an above board part to your organization, and then a below board, and that below board part is mostly going to be dealt with Wilhelm's character, because that is kind of the direction your character has been going. So on that note, I'm just going to break it to you. You guys, essentially, so the way this is going to work, and we'll get into it more later, but essentially, most people that you come into contact with are going to know you as the adventuring party, right? Whatever your name you choose to be. We will choose a name today. I swear to God, you're getting a name. Get over it. We'll probably go through and generate some names too, but we'll get a name. Most of the people in the world will know you as the name. On the flip side of the coin, you will be organized into an underworld syndicate, and so that means that you essentially will have spy networks. You'll be doing thieves guild stuff, that kind of thing. And that is actually how you be organized. So you will be an underworld syndicate, although most people in the world will know you as an adventuring party. All that being said, kind of leads into maybe I should open the book and I probably had something that was like, oh, I should tell them this because I've got a page marked. Let me check. Is everything making sense so far? Are you lost? Do you have any questions?
Like 80% of the way there. I
Yep.
understand what you want us to do. I'm just kind of confused on how we get to that point. Like I don't see the logical steps that leading me to being in charge of like backroom dealings for the group. Does
Right.
that make sense?
Yes. So we're gonna get into how we get there, right? Because that's all gonna be. Again, that's why I keep saying, oh, it's gonna feel like it's gonna revolve around Will. It's because of. I'll just put it this way. Just be very blunt. Your father's been scheming, and he's about to put a lot of pieces together to put you in a place in which this all makes sense. Does that make sense?
Cool.
So it's gonna feel a little like, just like, oh, this happened out of nowhere. Your father's been planning it, and you'll see how that all comes out. I'm just trying to get through like the mechanical stuff of it before we get into like talking about that stuff. I'm trying to get through my spiel, and then we'll get into all the stuff that actually happens to make this sense. So you guys will be an underworld syndicate. That will mean you come with officer roles, which we'll get into what they do. But there's 5 officer roles that you guys can, divvy up however you decide. We'll go into what those are and how they affect you, what powers and abilities they give you, and then essentially what your organization will do. We'll get into all that, those mechanics, kind of as we go through and as we start getting through some of the other stuff. Just because I'm trying to kind of move on from I don't want to focus too much on the organization right now because a lot of it is going to be revolving around what happens with Will's character today, or Nick's character, Wilhelm today. So yeah, I'm gonna move on. Organizations, no, they will have. So organizations work on a different time scale. So you guys have turns and rounds that happen in combat. Or an organization works on seasonal turns. So you'll be able to take an action every season, quote unquote, as that organization to spy or to do different things.
Sorry about that.
But know that organization will be able to take actions to assist you or to, not assist your enemies, to harm your enemies. In ways that you could not as an adventuring party. Kind of just move on from that, because this is something will pertain to all of the characters today. We'll be gaining. You will at least have the opportunity to gain followers. I don't want to push a follower on anyone if you don't want to deal with. You good there, Doug?
Yeah.
Yeah, you got a little noise there.
I got a little noise.
Yeah.
There was a lot of static coming through right there.
I think it almost sounded like a fan directly in your mic for a good amount of time. It kind of did,
yeah.
I can hear it.
Uh-huh.
It might just be my fan.
All right, that's fine.
Okay.
So everyone will have an encounter, an opportunity to gain a follower today. But obviously you don't have to, because having a follower will mean there's a little more for you to do mechanically, and it can be some people just don't want to deal with having to deal with other things besides their character, which is totally valid. So if you don't want a follower, you don't have to get a follower, but you will have the opportunity to gain a follower today. So on that note, I have to find my book, because apparently I've lost my book in the 2 seconds I put it down for. Because that's how I operate. Something gets set down and then it gets forgotten. Okay, so as far as what followers are. So followers, another word we use for these particular the kind of followers you're getting are retainers. So essentially, it's like you're adventuring. Your adventurer's like lieutenant is a good way to think about it. So these characters are cool, right? But they're not too cool. They're supposed to like elevate your main character's coolness, right? So the idea is that like obviously your character's pretty awesome if they have a follower like this, right? So your follower will never outshine your character, but it will like make your character seem cooler purely because someone is following them because they're cool. Obviously they tend to act as lieutenants, but they can also act if you have enough of them, or if you as the party group them together. They can act as troubleshooters to kind of go and do what an adventuring party would do. They also operate simpler than PCs. So one of the ways they're simpler than PCs is they don't have HP. They have health levels. So right, a spell like Lay on Hands, right, where you have a pool of HP to disperse to people to heal them. That would be kind of wasted on a follower because they don't have HP in the same way your other characters do. So that's kind of a balancing thing to make sure that like you're not wasting your healing on your followers when they could be better spent on your fellow players. And we'll get into mechanical stuff as we go forward, and as you actually get the followers. But they're supposed to be hard to kill, obviously, because we don't want them to die, because they're your followers, and it'd be pretty sucky to have to deal with that if it wasn't in a narrative sense. Yeah. So the health is different, the way it's stealing them. Yeah. So I think that's everything. That's kind of my spiel done. One more bit of a spiel. That was followers, right? So we'll go through. Don't worry too much about this if you didn't understand any of that. It's fine. We'll get to it. Strongholds. So you will gain a stronghold today, obviously, through the means of some of the stuff that's happened. Certain patrons of yours will be giving you a stronghold. So technically, by the rules in the third-party booklet, the third-party book of rules for 5e D&D, it's technically a castle, air quotes castle. More precisely, it's just a complex stronghold, meaning it contains at least two types of strongholds. So one of the types of strongholds in an establishment, we'll talk about the speakeasy, which is kind of like the underside of the place. But obviously, if you have a speakeasy, because it's in Prohibition, you need a front to cover what you're operating as. So your group will get to choose what that front is and what other half your establishment, what other half your stronghold is. So right, and so the other is a stronghold you'll pick. Yes.
I'm a little confused by this part. I don't know if this gets explained a little later. Are we doing something that's specifically illegal and need a front business for? Like you're saying an example of a speakeasy, but are we?
Yes. So yes. Because of the nature of things you're gonna have to do, going forward, especially without Tesla there, without influence from the church, which you would get through Father Gabriel, there's going to be a lot of pressure. So through the speakeasy, you're going to be running your organization that does a lot of illegal things. So yeah, you'll have a front.
Okay.
Does
Gotcha.
that? We'll get into it more. I think it'll make sense going forward. Maybe I've just.
We have to break into a place.
I feel like just the fact that we haven't
done.
I feel like this will probably come a little more naturally when we get to the point of how this is established, because I feel like hearing this without that linear is making my brain a little confused. But I feel like we'll get understanding.
I think
of why
I'm in
we
the
need a
same
front.
boat, but yeah.
I'll
Yeah.
figure out.
I feel like it'll click when it clicks.
Once
Yeah.
we figure out why I need to have a front.
Yeah. Yeah, I think that's definitely part of it. There's also a possibility I've overwritten this, so don't worry too much about it. Um, yes. Okay, right. So you kind of get two strongholds. It's one place. It's just the speakeasy and the place that is above it. We can get into whether you actually need. I think you need a front. I don't remember. I'll check my notes. There's also a possibility you could just sell this to somebody, the upper half of the building to somebody. I don't remember. We'll find out. There will be a cost associated. Okay, right. So, the other stronghold you will pick. Strongholds are generally divided by class. So one of you will take up responsibility for half of the castle, quote unquote castle. There will be a cost associated with refurbishing that half of the castle. The party will be wise to pool their resources, and there will be an opportunity later in the session to acquire required gold should the party wish to do so. Okay, that was a lot of spiel, and a lot of it probably doesn't exactly make sense. So,
Yeah.
let's get into some of this. I think I'm
Don't
also a
get me
little confused
wrong.
now.
I'm excited for it because I've kind of always wanted to have a bit more of a stronghold-esque thing in D&D, so I'm excited on the premise. It's just the lead into it is I'm confused. You get what I mean?
Yeah, and I think I'm a little confused now too. So it's just because, and part of this too is that I wrote this assuming that I would have everyone but Nick here. And so Nick, because your character is kind of the person this revolves around, it was like well, this is what's happening, but you won't really know it because, like, your character's not exactly involved. It's trying to figure out what was what. It's very confusing now.
Also, side note, have we had a long rest?
Yes.
I would imagine with 3 weeks.
Right.
I just didn't know exactly where we were picking up for.
Yes. So, yeah, definitely have taken a long rest. Okay, I'm gonna try and synthesize.
I can't remember what health I was at.
Okay, so this is like the intro to the intermission part. So here we are. So for the past 3 weeks, the streets of New York City have been covered in a thick fog. As the sewers run red with blood, the mundane people of the city seem largely unafraid and unbothered by what is occurring. But those who know of the magical side of the city have been fighting tooth and nail for it. Vampires are running amok, and your group, like many others, have done their best to get a handle on the ever-growing situation. Many of the magical folk have turned to you as leaders of the last vestige, as the last vestige of Tesla's power and protection in the city. You've been forced back into a ward. So, essentially, the 3 weeks of blood. The vampire problem that Tesla been feeling out, see how bad it was. You guys had been trying to do this also. You'd been trying to track down stuff. It has grown into like an epidemic. So there are vampires running in the streets. Shit's bad, right? You've been forced back into war is the best way to put it. So with that, who would like to go? Like, should we get into Wilhelm's stuff because it's complicated, or Jonathan, would you want to do your stuff first? Who wants to go first, really, is the question here.
I have questions. I don't know if they're like, if we're in a 3-week time skip, is this things that I would just get to ask, or is this a role play out situation?
Let's ask questions. Let's go ahead and ask, and we'll see.
Okay, so you said that we are essentially leading a resistance against vampires, like essentially a war. You said, yeah?
Yes, correct.
I have thousands of questions about logistics of what we have, allies, air region, the whole shebang.
We'll get into all that. That's a lot. We'll get to it. This is kind of why we've kind of time skipped, because a lot of it's like, I don't want to make up 50 different factions that have come to you. Logistically, I understand you wanting to know the logistics of that. I'm just saying, like, oh, that's a lot of fucking prep work to have put in. That I'm just trying to avoid.
No, it's fine. I just wanted to essentially get a handle on what we have to do with was the
Right.
baseline of that
And
question.
that is, we will get into that. Again, this is all.
Why don't you just set us in at some point? I feel like that's the best thing to do at this point. Set the scene somewhere.
Right. Okay. So, I mean, let me go back to this. Okay. I'm gonna skip to Jonathan's because that's where I have the best in and understanding what's happening.
Sure.
So, Jonathan M. So, at some point, early in this 3 weeks intermission, probably within the first few days, your character has been. I mean, you've got the fucking cross, right? Like you're the front line. If shit's happening, you're there, right? This is what you've been doing for days. This is probably what you're going to be doing. I mean, right? I'm going to let you do whatever you want. I'm not saying this is what you've been doing the whole time, right? But this is so far in the first few days. This is what you've been doing. You've been hunting down vampires, slashing their out on throats, turning them to dust. The things you do. So, you are fighting vampires, basically left and right, and they're all spawn, I should say. They're vampire spawn, so they're not full vampires. You're not struggling with them as much as you would be. But at one point in this 3 weeks of blood, in the first few days, fog fills the street. You walk with fucking what's it fucking called? The cross. Is it Abel? Abel's cross.
Honestly, I can't even remember.
I don't know.
Sounds right. It's a Bible name that began with an A.
Yeah.
And
So Abel's silver cross, whatever it's called. It sits. It's it's a crucifix. You've got it tied around your neck. It sits. On your neck. It's a shining beacon in the fog, essentially. You have, in some ways, been the person who's encountered the most other resistance fighters. The other people that are fighting vampires. Simply because with that cross, as you walk into this fog, anytime you walk in the fog, it has this glow, right? Radiant glow of the power of faith, you know? So you have been working with other people. Generally, the kind of people you're working with are like very strange for you because you come from a pretty human background. Even with your work at the church, you end up meeting all kinds of like elves, fae folk, any kind of
Fae folk, you say?
I thought there was some magical thing that had turned everybody into humans.
So yes. So the things that the people Doug is encountering, because, right, the reason he's okay. Let me rephrase. You're right. First of all, that's completely correct. That's why I said fae folk, right? The people he's encountering are like fae folk. They're not. Did I say elves? Is that why you're confused?
You said elves and a few other things besides fae folk. And I just thought that I just remember hearing a bunch of different races, and I thought that was all meshed into one.
Yes. Sorry, I get very confused. It's a lot to keep my head around. Yeah. So. No, you're right. I'm trying to. I'm gonna stick with fae folk. No, you're right. I'm gonna stick with fae folk. My point being, these are like spirits of the city, if that makes sense.
Gotcha.
All right.
Yeah, that's spirits of the city. So in all shapes, forms, like, yeah, they're spirits of the city that take in all shapes and forms. Like, you see giant fucking crocodile people, you know, because crocodiles are in the sewers. That's the thing I'm going with. So those are just lizard folk, you know what I mean? But they look like they're fucking giant crocodile people. That kind of thing, if that makes sense. Yeah. So these are like and so as far as Jonathan Adams go, these are like fucking weird ass shit, man. This is like magic has taken normal things of the city and turned them into humanoid-esque things. Okay, yeah, that's what I'm going with. Anyways, so you've been encountering all these people. All these different types of beings that are fighting the vampires. That's probably what I should have gone with. At one point, in those first few days, you're fighting a vampire spawn. You are in an alley. You should probably roll initiative at this point.
All right. First roll. Give me that die. Oof. Okay. Good thing I'm a Dex fighter.
Yeah, what you get?
That's gonna be. That's gonna be a very spicy 9.
Well, my first roll for their initiative, nat 1. So,
Okay. Okay.
Okay, right. So it's a few days in. The city of New York's been filled with fog for maybe 4 days. You've encountered
wildfires.
You've encountered a few different weird things like giant crocodile people or big humanoid-esque rats that have been fighting these vampires as well. You have found yourself in an alley. There was a person you were trying to save. Who was that person?
Who was that person?
Yes, I'm asking you. Who was that person?
I'm gonna say it was one of the newly acquired friends, right? Who took a turn down that alley.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
Yeah. Okay, so one of the newly acquired friends that you have, you've kind of like amassed this like resistance fighting force. By the way, this group will dissolve by the end of the 3 weeks, just because.
Yep.
Things. I'm not trying to give you like a whole army to fight people with.
I know. It's fine.
One of these friends that you found is it's a humanoid dog. I believe technically in D&D they're called hound folk, but I don't quote me on that. And he's gotten one of his arms jammed behind a dumpster. He was reaching for something that he thought was suspicious. And there's this vampire basically that dropped down from the roof and is bearing down at him. What do you do?
So I'm going to let's see here. How far away is this vampire?
He's about 15 feet away from you.
15?
Correct.
All right, cool. I'm going to I'm gonna pop a divine favor and then whack him. So divine favor giving an extra D4 radiant.
Yeah. Go ahead and roll
a sword.
Yeah.
I'm gonna use lucky on that actually. All right.
Oh, using the luckies already, I see.
Yep. That's gonna be a 14.
14 does not hit.
14 does not. All right. Extra attack. Wow. Okay. That one doesn't either.
Okay. So you slice your sword once, twice at this vampire. You're struggling to hit him because you're very much trying to avoid hitting your houndfolk friend. What's his name, by the way?
His name is going. Don't do this. This is a bad idea. You should not allow me to name it.
He is a throwaway character.
I'm gonna come up
He's
with
a throwaway character. Call him whatever you want.
Tomothy.
Okay, so Tomothy, he's gonna get to go. He's gonna get to try and make an action against this vampire. He is going to. He has this. this sword that seems to absorb light. It's a sword of darkness, essentially. And he swings it. He is like it's like a gladius, so he's trying to stab it into this vampire. He's going to get 2 attempts. He's going to miss both of them, just like you, because he is trying to. He's got his main hand stuck behind this dumpster, so he's stabbing with his offhand.
Mm-hmm.
So he misses twice, and the vampire spawn is going to try. He's gonna get disadvantage first of all because he rolled a nat 1 on initiative. He's gonna try and I think he only has 1 attack. No, he has multi-attack. Okay, he's gonna try and claw at both of you. Once at Tomothy. Let's see what Tomothy's AC is. Where is the proper die? Okay, he does hit Tomothy on one of his. Oh no, he doesn't. I'm stupid. I said he has disadvantage, and then I totally misread the dice. Except I think what's he got? Oh, never mind. He definitely does hit Tomothy. Does? Hold on. Let me do my math. He misses Tomothy. Let's see. What's your AC, Jonathan Adams?
Mine currently is 17.
He also
I have
misses
2 swords.
He also misses you.
Okay.
So it is your turn again.
All right. Let's see here. Swing. That's going to be a 21 to hit.
That'll hit.
That will hit. That's what I like to hear. That is going to be a solid. Um, 4 piercing, 2 radiant.
4 piercing, 2 radiant.
Yep. All right. Now I'm gonna extra attack. 19 hit.
19 does hit.
All right. Second verse, same as the first one. That one's not. Where did it go? There it is. Ugh. All right. 2 piercing, 1 radiant.
2 piercing.
And then I'm going to bonus action swing with my other hand. 18.
That hits.
All right. Gonna go with you, and why not you? Well, good choice. Okay. 4 piercing and let's see here. I completely forgot which one that was. Great. 1 radiant.
Okay. Then it's Thomas. Actually, I'm going to assume there's at least one more person with you. There are 2 more. I'm going to say they're also hound folk. You're rolling with the pack of dogs right now.
Alright.
They're also going to step in and try and attack the spawn. One of them hits. They're each only going to take 1 attack, so one of them hits, one of them misses. Standing on either side of you, these 2 hound folk both stab with their gladiuses? I don't fucking know. One of them hits for 13 points of damage. Their swords are just normal gladiuses. They're definitely gladiuses, right? They're not swords of darkness like Tomothy's. So one manages to stab the vampire. Tomothy is going to take his 2 stabs at the vampire as well. He misses the first one, but he hits on the second. Of course, I left. He does 6 points of damage, plus another 6 points of damage. So he does 12 points of damage in total. And then the vampire is going to turn his attention fully to you, because you've got this fucking glowing crucifix on your chest, and he's fucking terrified and angry about it. So he's making 2 claw attacks at you. No disadvantage this time. Your AC is
17.
17. So he's going to hit you on one of his 2 attacks.
Okay.
And he hits you for 8 damage.
All right.
And as he hits you, it is your turn.
Cool.
Claws across your, like, chest. Real good. Trying to get that crucifix to, like... He's essentially trying to, like, see if he can't claw through the necklace holding the crucifix, but he misses. He does hit you, but he doesn't hit the crucifix at all.
Cool. Give me 1 second. I gotta roll con. That passes. All right, so I still have divine favor on.
Mm-hmm.
Roll to attack. That was a 17 to hit.
70 hit. Perfect. That'll hit.
All right. And then that's going to be 5 piercing, 2 radiant.
That's 7 damage in total.
Yep. 22 for the extra attack. I'm gonna roll. 4 and 2.
Okay.
And then last attack roll. I miss. That was a 6.
Roll the 6. Okay. So you get these 3 slashes in on him. Well, 2. You missed the third one.
Yep.
You missed the third one because he finally, after 2 slashes, he's like, oh, I should probably fucking dodge. And he manages to just kind of slide his body out of the way of your third swing. We go to the 2 hound dogs that are standing next to you. Hound dogs? Hound folk? I don't fucking... Hound folk. They're both going to try and swing. One of them hits. And so they do 6 points of damage to him. Tomothy's going to swing at him twice with his Gladius of Darkness. Misses both times. The spawn is going to try and to... It's going to actually this time aim at both of the hound folk next to you, because it's failed to in any way seem to stop you at the moment. It hits both of them, so he's going to claw one and claw the other. You do have him boxed in, so they shouldn't be getting advantage, but I didn't... Whatever. I forgot about that. So he's going to get to hit both of them. Unfortunately, they're not very strong, and I think they've been taking some damage already. So, not in this fight, but in fights before it. I think one of them goes down. So one of the hound folk next to you goes down. The other gets a really nasty cut right under his eye. And from this thing's claws, and it is once again your turn.
Cool. Actually, this might work. Can you split up an extra attack? Or does the attack have... No, it has to be at the same thing. Okay.
Yeah. I think so.
So, in which case, I'm going to... Can I drop concentration of one spell to cast another con spell?
Yes.
In the same... Okay. I'm going to drop con on that to cast Branding Smite. And then I'm going to swing. That was... I'm using a lucky. 11 is not gonna hit.
No.
All right. How about a 17?
That does hit.
That does hit. Cool. This is going to be 3d6 of damage. 2d6 of it is radiant. That's gonna be 1 piercing and 5 radiant.
1 piercing, 5 radiant. How do you want to do this?
All right. So, seeing how it's an extra attack and 2 at the same time. So, yeah, I'm just gonna cross my blades and chop off his head.
So you decapitate this vampire. His head ka-thunk, rolls. And in that instant, as his head plops to the ground and begins to roll, you hear this unhuman screech from above you. And as you turn to look up, there is another spawn that is about to collide with you. In the moments before it collides, your vision is bathed in the light of the Lord. You basically become completely blinded by this light.
I've got blind fighting. I can see at least 10 feet, I think. Yep, I can see at least 10 feet.
Great. So as this light overtakes your vision, the shapes you can see are of a knight in armor, full plate armor, holding a lance that is casting this light upon all of you. And this vampire falls right onto this lance. And you watch essentially just the shape of this vampire slam and stake himself. Like, it hits him in the stomach and just slides down by the force of gravity.
At least it wasn't his own petard.
This vampire spawn is dead. Like, full dead. It's been stabbed with the light of the Lord. And as this light recedes and as your full vision returns, you're left standing in front of this young knight. He can't have seen more than 20 summers. And as you look at him, his face is very gaunt and drawn out. There are massive bags under his eyes that sink deeply into his cheeks. And he sees you, and he says, well, actually, he sees you, and then he turns, and he kind of, like, drops his lance and, like, is trying to, like, get this freaking vampire off his lance. So he struggles with that for a minute before finally kicking this corpse now that is burnt to a crisp just off his lance. And then he turns and he looks at you and he says, "Are you Jonathan Adams?"
Aye. And who do I have to thank for saving my ass?
And he kind of stabs his lance in the ground, and he brings his fist to his heart, and he says, "I'm Gabriel Evergreen. My father served as the first knight of the Lord. Uh, over a century ago. I've been sent on a mission to find you."
Aye. So you're older than you appear?
In some senses. So, Gabriel Evergreen, he's a very lanky fellow, donned in the shining but ill-fitting armor of his late father. Just so you know, he's lanky. This armor doesn't fit him exactly as it should. And yeah, he said this to you. Did you what do you say to him?
Well, any helping hand's a good helping hand. I guess.
And he's,
I don't know. I'm kind of just like off the high of killing a vampire right now.
that's fair, and he says, "I've come to serve you."
You've come to serve me.
Yes. So he says yes, and at that moment he kind of like notices that one of your allies has fallen, and he goes over and he uses lay on hands, to help heal your Houndfolk ally who rises, and Timothy finally manages to get his arm free, and the Houndfolk are like very grateful, and they're like, "We'll see you again. We'll let you sort this out," and they kind of go on. And as they leave, he turns to you and he says, "Yes, Mr. Adams, I've been gifted a vision. The first night of the Lord in nearly in the first night of the Lord since my father will stand atop a pile of dead devils. And I believe, though I am told that this is blasphemous, that you are the next night of the Lord."
I am the next knight? Well, I don't know about that. I know as I just like killing the things that don't mean to be here.
Mr. Adams, that may be
Putting away the
true.
things that put away.
That may be true, but I'm afraid the first night of the Lord holds a very special place within the church. That is a very necessary place in the church. You see, Mr. Adams, the Pope is a spiritual leader, not a general. And I don't know if you've noticed, but we are at war.
Aye, that I can see pretty clear as day right now.
Indeed, Mr. Adams. I do not know when, or if, or perhaps even in our lifetimes, you shall be granted the title of First Knight, but I shall serve you until such a time as I am proven false.
Well, I don't know too much about this knight title. But if it allows me to put my hand on God's a little closer, maybe.
Okay. So, from there, we'll kind of leave that scene. We'll fade into the fog of these two men of the church that have just met and seem to be, if nothing else, in agreement to stand against the darkness.
Mm-hmm.
So, Doug, this is your follower. Gabriel Evergreen is the first of perhaps many followers that would join you in your career as an adventurer. Do you
Alright.
accept him?
Yeah.
Okay, then I'm going to pop into Discord, and I'm going to send you his little stat chart. And then
Oh.
I will go in, and I think I have art generated of him. So, if you'll just give me a moment.
Gotta put it on the slideshow.
Yes, I will indeed. Okay. This is... Okay, so that's a stat block. And then...
Okay.
Yes. So this is Gabriel Evergreen. Should be up now.
Gotcha.
So yeah, this is. I mean, for all intents and purposes, I'm gonna now just kind of give you Gabriel's backstory. Essentially, this would, you would learn this through normal conversation, but I'm just going to give you the short and dirty version of it. So Gabriel Evergreen was born into a family deeply rooted in the traditions of the church. His father served as the first knight of the Lord about a century ago, probably under some mission against demons or something. And from a young age, Gabriel exhibited a strong connection to the spiritual realm, often seeing and sensing things that others couldn't. Recognizing his natural affinity for the divine, Gabriel's family and his father encouraged him to pursue a path of priesthood. Before he could begin that journey, his father passed in his work as the first knight of the Lord. He was the last first knight of the Lord to have served the church. And again, that was over a century ago. And we'll get into more of what that means later, because it'll maybe become relevant to your story. We'll never know. But Gabriel, at the age of 16, after his father passed, joined the seminary to begin his training as a priest. His dedication and thirst for knowledge propelled him to excel in his studies, particularly in the fields of theology and exorcism. Despite his young age, Gabriel showed remarkable promise, quickly becoming one of the seminary's brightest students. However, it was during an internship at a remote parish that Gabriel's life took an unexpected turn. Assigned to assist an experienced exorcist, he found himself confronted with malevolent forces far more powerful than anything he had encountered before. Gabriel witnessed possessions and faced dark entities that seemed to relish in tormenting him. Caught off guard and overwhelmed by the sheer intensity of the encounters, Gabriel realized he was in over his head. The theoretical knowledge he had gained in seminary paled in comparison to the raw reality of battling demonic forces. Doubt crept into his mind as he questioned his own abilities and faith. Haunted by his experiences, Gabriel decided to take a break from his studies and return to his family seeking guidance. His mentors and family members were concerned about the toll it had taken on him, but they also recognized his potential and unwavering determination. They advised him to seek out a priest who could help him to grow into the warrior of God they knew he could be, and also the priest that he'd seen in his vision, standing atop the bodies of devils as the first knight of the Lord. That priest was you, Jonathan Adams. Whether that vision is true or not, people get visions all the time. What does it mean? Does it mean anything? Who knows? What is the gift of prophecy? Who fucking knows? So that is his journey so far, and he's essentially sought you out to, be a better, be a better knight. So, with that, we fade into the fog, and we'll fade in to Wilhelm's character. So Wilhelm, actually, I thought people were supposed to be here by now, but so I'm going to fade back into where we kind of left off before I gave my little mechanics spiel, and I'm gonna just pop right back up here. So the Hotel Galaria is gone. We'll fade back in. Essentially, the whole group is here. Everything that Jonathan you just experienced hasn't happened yet, but it will in just a few days.
Yep.
You arrive.
All what? There we go.
You arrive to where the Hotel Telario once stood, where you remembered having been, just hours after having left the House of Horrors that did contain the Vampire Den. It is gone. So you're standing there as a group. What are your individual responses to this place that was there no longer being there?
I wonder if it's one of those things, if we keep walking, we'll just run into it.
So it's just like gone? I reach out my hand to touch the area. It's not like an illusion, it's just gone.
Yep. So there is a building here.
We need to get out of here. Like now.
There is a building here, but it is very much not the hotel at all. It seems to be maybe like some sort of factory or something like that, but it's definitely not the hotel.
What the fuck are we supposed to do now? I mean,
Uh,
I don't know my way around. The place I grew up in had like fucking 300 people maximum. I don't just know my way around the city.
yeah, I'm not really from this country, so I also don't really know where to go. We should definitely not be here though. Let's go anywhere but here. Let's find a hotel, see if we can set up for the night and figure out what we're gonna do.
Okay, so you moved.
We're gonna find some cheap ass motel, something that's like off the grid kind of shit.
Give us a Motel 6.
You move to turn to go down an alley that's like next to where the hotel once stood. You're kind of like, this doesn't make a lot of sense logically. Like logically, you're like, oh, I should stay on the street. Something in you is like, oh yeah, let's walk down this alley. We'll find a hotel after that alley. As you begin walking in the alley, first of all, you've started to notice the fog. I mean, you noticed earlier, right? We talked about how the fog's been here a while. We talked about the last session, right? That the fog was there. So this isn't new for you. But the fog seems to be spreading throughout the city. You're not. I mean, you can't tell that, but you seem to think the fog is thicker now. And as you go in this alley, it all becomes very shadowy. And out of one of these shadows emerges Adrian Ramirez. Wow, is it? That's a really pixelated image.
They fucking censored my boy.
There he is. Okay.
Uncensored. He looks
and
kind of like a dick, not gonna lie.
kind of does. You're not wrong. He emerges and he hands you a note. I'm going to put this in the general chat now.
To whom it shall concern.
That ain't ominous.
Not ominous at all. So the note says, for our listeners at home, to whom it shall concern, should I perish or in some other way be indisposed in helping you, those who I have gathered to fight the darkness, I know that there has been purchased the headquarters from which you may work. My assets are undoubtedly tied up in all the nonsense of bureaucracy, likely on purpose to dissuade you from continuing your work against the darkness. You receive this now from an ally of whose establishment was attracted here by my work and protection. It shall have disappeared now that I am gone. Do not fret. There are other allies to be found here in the city. One need only look where one would not think to. I have left a small nest egg for you as well. It is little, but it is all I could visibly hide under scrutiny. Do the work. The reward shall find you. Yours, Nikola Tesla.
I take the note and I after reading it, I tear it up into small pieces and chew it and swallow it. And then I look up at Ramirez and say, I'm assuming you're going to show us which way to go?
I am indeed, good sir. And he also hands you.
Let's be hurry. Let's be quick.
Well, he goes to hand one of you. I'm presuming someone. He holds out a bag of gold. This is the amount
I'll
Tesla
take it.
left for you. It is. Sorry, I didn't think of this before. I need to fucking find out how much fucking gold it is. Not bad. Hold on. Wow. He left you 900 pieces of gold. That's your small nest
Alright.
egg. Also, the fact that Tesla thinks 900 pieces of gold is small is kind of funny, but
It is in D&D terms when you get to later stuff.
that's very true, to be fair. Yes, so Adrian Ramirez starts guiding you through a path that, like, you should not be able to take. Right? He's guiding you through these small alleyways. He takes you through a few different buildings. You are more or less completely lost.
Wait a second. So, time up before I do this. Memory serves, from what I heard, the Raven Shadow necklace is only a listening device. It's not a tracking device, yes?
I believe that is correct, yes.
That is what we established. I couldn't remember. Because if it was a tracking device, I was going to yeet it off a cliff. But if it's just listening, I'm keeping it muffled and not on me.
Right. Yes. I believe we had determined last time that it was in your bag.
Yes.
Muffled by, cloth or some
Yep.
such. Probably wrapped in your bedroll or something like that.
Yeah.
Now a bad time.
Oh, hello.
Hello, shalom, Shabbat.
You're here.
I am.
Good.
Literally just got home, so.
So great. I'm just going to fill you in real quick. Also because some stuff happened to your character last time that you weren't aware of. So, just quick recap. I'm going to go back to the beginning of the slideshow because we're about to pick up right back here anyways. If everyone's good with that.
Slideshow.
Yeah, back to the beginning of the slideshow. So episode 9 is called Interlude. The 3 weeks of blood. So if you remember the last time you were here was I don't know when the last time you were here. I don't know what we were doing the last time you were here. I'm being honest with you.
Talk to Sphinx.
Oh right, we were still doing that.
Lovely person.
So between then and now, the rest of the group went into a vampire den. You were kidnapped by that vampire den, so they were trying to retrieve you. So while you were there, they tried to, and I've talked to you about this. They tortured Connor O'Leary for information. You don't remember what information they were trying to get out of you, just that it was information. Torture is a very traumatic event, so you don't really remember what was happening. But they did very much autopsy you alive. They were dissecting you while you were still alive, so you have the scars of autopsy. I think that's even in here somewhere. Before that, in that episode, the Adam Frank had died. I don't remember if you ever... You met Adam Frank. You should have at some point. They discovered he was dead in Tesla's office, and that Tesla was missing. Also, the Solomon's box. I don't know if you ever interact with Solomon's box, but it's an important thing. It's an important artifact that they have, and they gave it to Tesla to safekeep, and it was gone. So that's disappeared as well. Unrelated to you, but the Jonathan Adams and Camilla's Constance's contact at the church, Gabriel Labar, they haven't heard from him. Father Gabriel, they haven't heard from him, and won't hear from him in the whole 3 weeks of blood. You've just arrived. You had moments ago just arrived at where, from that ordeal, you had just arrived back to the Hotel Talaria to find that it was no longer there. And as you went to leave to find somewhere to stay, Adrian Ramirez essentially emerged from a dark alleyway with a note that was just dropped in the general chat from Nikola Tesla, essentially being like, hey, so here's some money. Adrian's going to take you to a place where you can set up shop. Sorry for being gone. Look for allies. good luck. That's really what it said. I don't know. That's
That
the
was
gist of
that
it.
was the cliff notes of it. Yeah.
Oh yes. So Salix Crown, you never met Salix Crown either, I don't think. But Central Park is shut. That's one of Salix Crown is probably like the party's first ally, basically. And he has closed Central Park because of the fog and all of the death and killing that's happened is going to happen in 3 weeks of blood. So Central Park is shut. The Mediator, which was, your droid friend, basically.
Yes.
He was left behind in the pocket dimension of the vampire den. They could not retrieve the Mediator. He's still there. You could go retrieve him at some point, if you wanted to. And I've actually made a balanced,
Tried to flatten my cheeks. If he thinks he's getting saved, he's got a different thing. All right.
Yeah, I'm not disagreeing, but he does have a more balanced character sheet now that I have. So if you guys want to retrieve him, you can, and I will let you keep him this time. The scars of Connor O'Leary, you were cut open, so that's you got scars like that now. So this is part of the boring mechanical spiel. Basically, I'm not gonna read it to you because you probably know it. You've probably read it a billion times because you're a DM. You've entered tier 2 because you're all now level 5. So you've entered tier 2 of.
Wait, I'm level
D&D
5
play.
now?
Yes.
Oh, great.
You're level 5.
Yeah.
I love that everybody's so caught up on all this shit.
I did it. I did it. Okay.
Listen, okay,
I would
I
like to
literally
say-
Granted, I did it 20 minutes before we were supposed to start last time.
For the
but-
record, I was level 4. I was just didn't update to level 3. I was level
Okay. Okay. because
That's good to know.
That was a big.
Okay.
Okay, hold on.
Okay. As we come to this slide, and now that more people are here, party organization and the party sheet. We'll get into some of this. It's all mechanical pooey, basically. I say after I've explained this already once, and I just don't want to explain it again. So basically, at this point, namely, we need to come up with a name for the party. At this point, I would advise that you all go to maybe like ChatGPT and ask it to generate some names for a party because you didn't like any of mine, apparently.
How about the Devil's Disappointments?
The devil's
Devil's-
disappointment.
Devil's Minor Inconvenience.
You say it like
Look,
that.
here I am just sitting to myself thinking, do I really want to start the SCP Foundation?
You and I same wavelength. I was
You were thinking it too?
No, I was literally looking up
Okay, we
SCP
have to
names
make-
for like squad, like their task force things while you were doing your thing. That was going through my brain.
Yep,
Same
that would
wavelength.
That would work.
Okay, if it was me, I would take SCP and just come up with like D&D
Okay, I like that.
words
I like
for
that.
the acronym.
Yep.
Um,
Or even if it's not SCP, it's got to have some kind of thing like that.
I really
just
do.
a short acronym. Foundation afterwards.
I like the SCP Foundation. I want to try. I like the idea of trying to make D&D words for them.
Again, my advice, go to ChatGPT, let it figure it out. That's what I did, and it generated some pretty good names off what I gave it. Because I put in, generate a name for a party of adventurers that likes to burn shit and works with the church. So those are the names you got, basically.
Hey, I'll have you know I killed a guy with a bag of fucking dust, alright?
Yeah, that was something.
not forget.
Fair warning, it is starting to get spicy out, so might hear some sky anger.
Yes, I am seeing that as well.
Ooh.
So, okay. So basically, we'll have to come up with a name, and you will get officer roles, which will give you special abilities. So, the world is gonna see you as an adventuring party, but secretly, you're organized as an underworld syndicate, because of certain things that Nick is about to learn about his character, or about the things that his character's father, Wilhelm's father, has been orchestrating in the background.
I don't have an account.
yeah, I'm making a stupid account.
I'll make an account. Fine.
Yeah, so we'll get into what roles and shit as soon as we have a party name decided on, and as soon as we get past Nick's stuff, which I think is going to be next, after we get to once we get to where Adrian Ramirez is taking you.
Why do I have to give them my phone number?
Okay. Also, mostly for Johnny because you weren't here yet. Because we're in tier 2, I'm introducing stuff from Strongholds and Followers, which is third-party stuff for 5e. So everyone today is going to get the opportunity to gain a follower if they want. You obviously don't have to if you don't want them, but you will have an encounter in which you could gain a follower. Oh my god, followers are cool, but not too cool. They're not supposed to outshine your actual characters. They're simpler than player characters. Their health works differently, so you shouldn't waste your healing on them because they have health levels and not HP. That's the general spiel. Yeah, we'll get to more complicated questions later. Oh, here he is. I'm not going to go through the slideshow again, Justin.
Do it a third
Sorry.
time. Do it a third time.
Do it a third time. I actually will just go to the top of the slideshow because I think it's fun.
Hang on, let me pull up stream quick.
Yeah, get on your stream and then I'll go through the slideshow again.
Bro, why do they gotta make adding spells such a pain in the ass?
Because it's D&D Beyond.
I know. Put me down, please.
Forsberg, I need your help to level up.
What year is it?
Fuck.
Your mother.
It's 23.
Prohibition.
Oh, right
No.
now it's 1924.
Okay.
It is.
24.
I believe now it's June of 1924 after the 3 weeks have passed. I think. Don't quote me on that.
I do not know how to spell Manhattan.
Oh, that's right. My character's a fucking monster. Oh, I probably shouldn't swear. You're streaming.
No, I don't care if you swear.
I don't care either. What are
I
they
have
gonna
an
do?
18+ tag on mine.
I do not,
They're
but
gonna
it's fine.
ban you. Oh no.
Oh, if they ban me, I'll just go.
So,
YouTube
anyways,
it
I
for
have
you.
the best spell now. So be careful.
Hang on,
See, I don't know what that
Figure out-
means, because
figure out
like,
stream titles and tags. Title Forsberg.
it's on the Discord stream right now. 3 Weeks of Blood or an interlude, whatever you prefer.
Forester. Or not
I
Forester.
feel like 3 weeks of blood will get more clicks.
Probably. It's probably valid.
My lord. All right, now I know what my character does again. All right.
Keeping that joke to myself.
Dude, I have a new candle and it fucking is awesome. It's so
Candles.
nice.
Candles are great. I should
Dude,
burn
it
a
smells
candle,
like
fuck.
peaches, bro.
Peaches.
Yeah, dude, I fucking love peaches. It's called Bahama Breeze.
I'm thinking about getting G Fuel because it's like actually healthy caffeine.
Is it though? Like,
I've heard good
really?
things about it. Like, I've
Yeah,
heard
it's like-
okay things, but also it's being pushed by content creators, so I'm like, is it just a giant scam?
Well, I mean, the Russian Badger like bought a big share in their company, so
I don't know who that is. Ah! Okay.
Ooh, this
the
is really
mother.
making. This is really making ChatGPT. All right. Fucking.
hang on,
AI
I have to go past all of my Lego Universe streams to find the last stream.
This is episode 9, I believe.
Is Ben still awake? I'm gonna. I gotta bother him so I can steal his laptop.
Stream. I'm sure this looks
it
really
is,
boring, but it
That's
kind of
not
is.
I'm not streaming yet.
I am. I've been streaming the whole time.
Oh.
Yep.
All right.
That's why I was talking to stream.
Oh.
I
thought you
couldn't
were
mute myself in
talking to my
Discord.
stream.
No.
I thought you were
Sorry.
talking to my
I'll
stream.
mute myself next time I talk to my stream. Jesus.
No, it's okay. If you talk to your stream, then also talk to my stream, because then I won't have to talk to my stream as well.
I don't think anyone's watching my stream is the problem.
No, but you talk to the future viewers that go
Exactly.
back and watch the
Right.
VODs.
If you're here, watching the VODs from our first campaign of D&D, and we've been doing this for years, and we're like famous. You're a real one. Like if you come back to this VOD, you're a real one. All right.
We're bad.
Yeah, we're not good yet.
Humble,
This
humble beginnings.
humble, very very humble beginnings. Okay.
All right, this one doesn't really work well for us, but Chat GPT just gave me Silverlight Crusaders of the Pale, which fucking slaps.
That is kind of cool.
Oh, are we picking a name?
So,
Yeah,
so
we
we,
need to
have
pick a
to
name
pick a
today.
name because it's going to be a thing now.
we want to have the SCP
Mechanic-wise.
Foundation, but we want to have different abbreviations for fantasy.
Yes. Well, secure, contain, protect isn't like modern fixated.
It's not, but I don't want to be like. I don't want
That's
it
a
to be
little
as easy.
copyrighty.
Yeah,
Well, we're not gonna be the SCP. 'Cause
That's-
that would
you know,
be derivative and
even though
lazy.
it's an open source work, but that's not the point.
This is true. All right, tags. Multiplayer for sure. This is 100% multiplayer.
Facts. You can't play D&D alone. I mean, you
it's
can't
not
play.
wrong.
It's tabletop. It
Man's
has
playing D&D by
dungeons
himself.
and dragons.
We have had Encounter Dragons and Dungeons, I suppose, but not at the same time, I don't think.
So,
You
so
know,
what is
I've
our
met a
group,
dragon once.
what's our group's purpose?
Oh my god.
That depends on who you ask. Don't
I
ask
was
me,
about to
because I'm
say,
not going to give you a
because
fun answer.
I know what my purpose is. I don't know what everybody's purpose is, but my purpose is to kill bad things that walk in the
Yes, we would be hunt, destroy, consecrate.
night.
Honestly, Hunt, Destroy, Consecrate is pretty fucking cool, but
Yeah, not bad.
HDC? HDC doesn't sound bad.
I could
It's
probably add the religion.
Not
tag.
perfect, but
I'll add the religion tag. That's easy.
fuck, man.
So I looked up fantasy abbreviations for SCP, and I got Spellbound Chronicle Protocol. That one's not terrible.
This is a
Sentinel's
free
Custodial
broadcast.
Pact.
It's obviously I'll just put free in there. We'll put drama.
Oh,
I love
Justin,
drama.
you have Destroy
Sorry,
Undead now.
Oh, do I?
Yeah. So, when an undead fails its saving throw against your turn undead feature, the creature is instantly destroyed if its challenge rating is at or below a certain threshold as shown in the Destroy Undead table. I don't have it.
The
Oh,
graph is really bad.
the graph is really
promise.
bad.
Don't get excited. It'll happen maybe once.
I think you're leveled up. I don't fucking D&D Beyond. If you're fucking listening to this, which fuck you, you should be. Fucking put a level up button. It's not complicated. Your leveling up system sucks.
Damn,
But it's so much easier to just
Eat it
make me
there.
do it. You know?
Spellcrafter's Containment Pact.
All right, what other tags can I throw on this abomination? I'll put the tag.
Starboard Curio Protector.
Can you just
Royalty
fucking
free.
start streaming so I can go through the fucking thing again so we can get fucking moving, please?
I'm trying to get tags for views, Forsberg. This is what you're missing out on. This is why you're 0 viewers, okay?
You know what? Fuck you.
The more tags,
Just
the
that,
more
fuck you.
metadata, which means the higher the chance you show
I'm
up
not-
in search.
That
I'm
is
not
actually very
disagreeing.
true.
That's
All of
very
my
true.
videos have maxed out tags.
I want to fucking get
Also,
moving.
Sky
like-
is angry.
Sky is angry. Holy shit.
I don't know. I'll go with those tags.
Still fucking.
Is it pissing?
No, it's not pissing yet.
Oh, it's
What's
pissing
pissing?
hard here. The sky.
Oh,
Is it pissing?
Sky Pit.
Yeah, the
Oh, it
piston's
might be
fucking
pissing.
pissing.
I
Yeah.
didn't realize it was pissing. all I realized was kerplow.
I wouldn't try it. I mean,
All
it'd
right.
be funny.
Justin, let me know when you're live so I can fucking do this again.
Hang on. I wasn't prepared.
You're fine. Just let me know when you're ready.
I need to actually like.
Why do you sound like you're in a tin can? Are you on that
He is.
sub?
Am
He's
I in a tin
trapped.
can?
Free him.
I am him.
He's the one that came up with the idea of putting a controller in that fucking sub.
Oof. Dude, I don't remember my Discord password. Hold on.
Oh my god.
Dude, I'm sorry. I'm
Aren't
trying to
you
get
in
it on
Discord?
the PC. All
On
right.
his phone.
Gotcha.
All right, I'm going to break stream. We'll be back. We'll be back when Justin's fucking ready. All right.
I'm sorry. Okay, I'm mostly done. I just need to like. I'm live editing, kind of. I have like a, you know, how OBS works.
Yeah, I know. I'm gonna go to the
He
bathroom.
does sound like he's in a tin can, right? That's not just me.
I sound like I'm in a tin can.
Yeah.
Okay, good. I thought I was going insane.
God damn it! Grab the correct box. How hard is it?
I saw how you were messaging that one guy. Yeah. Messaging the one guy? In Hunt?
Oh, that's why. Oh, that's stupid. Why is there a lock button? Okay, I think I'm ready. Oh, is Mr.
We
Forsberg
might be
gone?
on break.
Great. All right, I'm ready.
All right.
It's probably not enough break time.
We
to
gotta
do
come up
gags.
with a name, so that's what break time will be.
I have to fucking go to the bathroom. Jesus Christ. Chill out, bro.
How dare you?
How dare I have to go to the fucking bathroom? Jesus Christ.
Exactly.
Okay. This is for Justin's stream. You guys keep thinking names. Okay, so episode 9, Coil Punk. I'm not doing the disclaimer again. Get over it. An interlude. 3 weeks of blood. I don't know if you remember a stream. I guess this is the first time I'm going to read this and it's the only time I'm going to read it because I put it off the other 2 times. But now we're both streaming, so they get the read. In loving memory, if you remember, because you found Adam Frank dead in Tesla's office. In loving memory of Adam Frank, it is with profound sadness that we announce the passing of a truly iconic figure. Adam Frank, made famous or infamous among those of a scientific mind by the writings of Mary Shelley in her report, Frankenstein, or The Modern Prometheus. The monster turned man captured the hearts and imaginations of countless individuals around the world. On this day, we bid farewell to a symbol of both fear and compassion, a creature of darkness and soul longing for acceptance. That sentence is hard to say. Adam Frank, known for his towering stature and haunting appearance, emerged from the laboratory of Dr. Victor Frankenstein as a patchwork creation of life. From the moment he took his first breath, he faced a world that shunned him, fearing the unknown and different. Despite the adversity he encountered, Adam possessed an innate desire for connection and understanding, his heart yearning for the warmth of acceptance and love. Through Shelley's vivid prose, we witness his tumultuous journey as he navigated a society that rejected him. It was within this written record that we discovered the complexities of his humanity, his intelligence, and his deep longing for a place to belong. His struggles remind us of the universal human need for compassion and empathy, as well as the tragic consequences of isolation and the cruelty of prejudice. While often depicted as a fearsome creature, Adam Frank was more than just a monster. He was a symbol of the human condition, embodying the existential questions of our existence. God, I can't talk today. Our search for identity and the consequences of our actions. He evoked both terror and sympathy, challenging our perceptions on what it means to be truly alive. In his final days, Adam found solace and acceptance in the hearts of many. He transcended the pages of Shelley's report, becoming a true man of science at the apprenticeship of one Nikola Tesla. Today, as we mourn the loss of Adam Frank, we remember the lessons he taught us. He reminded us of the power of empathy, the importance of inclusion, and the profound impact of acceptance. His legacy will continue to inspire artists, scholars, scientists, and all those who seek to understand the complexity of the human condition. Adam Frank leaves behind a lasting impact on the scientific and academic communities. His memory will forever be entwined with the themes of creation, ambition, and the consequences of unchecked experimentation. Let us honor his memory by cherishing the diversity and uniqueness within us all, striving to build a world where acceptance and understanding prevail. May Adam find the peace and belonging he sought, forever resting in the annals of history. Farewell, dark creature. Dear creature, your spirit will endure, and your story will continue to captivate generations of young academics to come. And Tesla is missing. Apparently, there's a large reward for information regarding that, but he's missing. The Solomon's box, that was also missing from Tesla's office.
What time do you guys leave on Saturday?
Also, you haven't heard from Father Gabriel, and you won't hear from him through the 3 weeks of blood, so that's a little concerning. You haven't heard from him since he fought the vampire in front of the Lockridge Brownstones, I believe. Right, so rejoining our heroes after they left the House of Horrors that you encountered last session, you attempt to return to the Hotel Talaria, only to find it has disappeared. And as you attempt to leave to find, other housing for that night, emerging from the shadows of an alley is Adrian Ramirez with a note that's now been dropped in the Discord general chat, and I'm not going to read it again. You might want to show your stream that, because I'm not going to read it again. It's marked to whom it shall concern in the general chat in the Discord.
Can you hear me okay? Question mark?
Yep.
Yes.
Okay, cool. Sorry, I was just hooking it up through the headset, so I wanted to make sure it's working.
You're good. And so now Adrian Ramirez is... Oh, right. Sal's Crumb closed Central Park because he's concerned because there's a lot of fog and a lot of vampires running around. So Central Park is closed.
Sounds like regular Central Park. What do you mean?
The Mediator was left behind in the pocket dimension of the Vampire Den. So you guys can go retrieve him if you want to, but you would actually have to, go retrieve him. So that's a whole quest on its own. So he's missing now, too. And Connor O'Leary was left with scars from his traumatic torture at the hands of the vampires. He doesn't remember any of the information they were trying to retrieve from him.
No, that's good for you. What do you mean?
Right, so this is where we left off. Today we are working on finding a name for our party, and then we'll get into a bunch of other stuff that's going to happen because you've reached the second tier of play in D&D. So, some new stuff's coming in at you, and we're going to get through it. It's going to be annoying and sluggish because there's a lot to fucking talk about, but it's going to be fine. It's going to be fine. It's going to be I'm saying this for me. It's going to be fine. Nice fan, Doug.
Thanks.
Oh, yeah, do we do a long rest?
Yes,
Yes.
You are all good. It has been plenty of time. So, right, the 3 weeks of blood. New York City is for the next, for 3 weeks, it's just covered in fog, and there's vampires running around, and you're trying to deal with that right now. This is someone Jonathan Adams meets in a little bit, but for the moment, I'm going to return to where we left off before we got sidetracked. Adrian Ramirez is leading you to your new headquarters. He also gave you, as Tesla notes indicates, a nest egg of sorts. So he gave you 900 gold pieces that I believe Nick marked down somewhere. So
Yes.
Wilhelm probably has that little bag of gold.
You gonna give it to his family again?
I don't think so.
Maybe?
Is Adrian wearing lipstick?
maybe.
Also, who is Adrian? I feel like I missed
My
something.
follower. I
Your
haven't met him
follower?
yet. We haven't met yet.
This is. We'll get to it. Don't worry about it.
Okay.
You know another person. I guess we're leaving it on
I haven't
this
met him
screen.
yet.
No one's met him yet. That is someone we'll get to in a minute. But
Oh, and one more question, because I'm the only full caster. How many spells do you want me to know at level 5?
oh fuck, man, why are you asking me this now? I don't know. How many fucking just decide? I don't know. Fucking how many do you have last level?
I just picked 2 more spells.
What class are you?
Wizard.
He's a wizard.
Technically.
I don't know, man. Take one more than you thought you would. I don't know.
Okay, that works.
How generous.
Fathers.
One more than you thought you
I
would.
would need
It could mean a
20
lot of
more
different
spells.
things. I don't fucking know. I'm not that worried about it. You're fucking competent enough to figure it out.
Oh, I don't know if we can go that far.
I hope so. Right, so Adrian Ramirez is leading you all down a bunch of different corridors, through different buildings, through different alleys. You are completely lost by the time you arrive to where you are. And you come out to a street. There's a street sign placed nearby, so you could find this place later, conveniently. You come to a building that looks abandoned. It looks like a completely abandoned building. Like, the windows are shattered. There's boards on some of them. The door is, like, padlocked shut, you know. And Adrian Ramirez turns and he says, "This is the place that has been secured for you. It's a shell, but you know, shells can be good. It's a good starting point. More of interest, there's a tenant in the basement that runs a speakeasy. So that should help you along the way in case you're, you know, trying to loosen up or gain some information or anything like that. Right. So, you need anything else?
No, that'll be all. Thanks.
Okay. I should let you know. I guess I'm not sure Tesla really wanted me to tell you this, but I'm going to tell you it because I thought it strange. Tesla did not acquire this building. His name's not on the deed. Obviously, would be because they would put you in danger probably. But he didn't, like, the money didn't come out of his account, so I don't know who paid for this building. And no one else seems to either. So have fun with that. Good day. I'll see you perhaps when the Hotel Talari returns. Maybe. We'll see. And he disappears back into the shadows. So,
All right, let's get inside.
yeah. You
We
come to
don't
this.
know who owns the building.
Yeah, we just need to get off the street for tonight. We'll talk about everything when we get later. Just not here.
All right.
I look around the mist. We have no idea who or what's listening.
Correct.
Walkity walk walk.
All right.
So, assuming you guys go in, Adrian Ramirez definitely before he left handed you a key, right? So that opens the padlock. You get in. The building is literally, on this floor at least, it's literally just a shell of a building. There's walls. I mean, you can see, like, exposed beams. Like, the walls aren't fully covered. Like, you know, it's very, like, this shit's been torn apart. You could build something here, but there's nothing here right now. It's just an empty shell of a building. So, what you do, is there anything you're looking for? Is there anything you're trying to figure out about the building? Does someone check for traps?
So it's just empty. There's nothing else of note here.
Correct.
Am I here?
Yes, everyone is here. Everyone has been following
okay.
Adrian Ramirez. Sorry. I didn't
Okay.
make that clear.
So where does this connect? Is there? So we opened up one door. There's a large room that is entirely empty. No other doors.
Correct. There are walls, and there are places where it looked like there were previously doors, but
How many windows are there? Are there windows in this building?
there's 4 windows on each wall, so that's 16 windows in total. rather
Are they
large
like the-
windows. Yeah.
Are they like at ground level where we can see them, or high up? Like how? So is this just like a warehouse? Like I'm trying
So-
to picture this building.
Yeah. Okay. Hold on. Yeah. Let me get this straight. So there's 16 sets of windows. So there's one like at normal height, and then there's one up above.
Okay.
So it looks like maybe this probably like from the outside or just from looking at windows, it would have been like a storefront. So like window space to display things. Is very much
Well-
the vibe of those windows.
Why don't we start with a good old fashioned perception check, or I think investigation, just to see if there's anything else in this room we haven't noticed?
Perception is definitely just skeptical. Investigation is a little more in depth. You could maybe learn something. I don't know. Whatever you prefer.
Why don't we do a perception first? Anybody better at it than me want to do it?
You know,
No.
All right, I'll just roll.
I have plus
got a
5
12.
perception and plus 6 investigation.
I have a +1.
Perception.
Yes.
12. Okay. So yeah, it's an empty shell. I'd say there's 4 rooms, right? But as far as like, they're not like walled off entirely. So there's like definitely 4 rooms. But whether or not like there's no closed in room. All the rooms are completely not closed in, right? There's pieces of wall missing. Some of them look like, like someone punched a hole through them. All the doors are missing. So there's 4 rooms, and all those 4 rooms are accessed off this main room that you just entered into, and yeah, that's pretty much it. Again, looks pretty decayed. Not like decayed, but definitely like been stripped down for parts kind of deal. Yeah, very empty shell kind of gig. Windows, again, some of them are shattered, some of them boarded over, that kind of thing. From perception check, I don't think there's anything else necessarily that you notice. Investigation might reveal something else if you wanted to, but
This is our home base. I
At the
glance
moment,
around.
yeah.
Why don't we say? Why don't we spread out, look around this room, see if we can find anything useful. If not, we'll gather up in the middle and figure out our next move.
Okay. So from this main room, there are 4 rooms that may open up off it, right? So, from left to right, we'll just call them rooms 1, 2, 3, 4. Who's gonna search room 1?
I can. I mean, assuming I'm with.
Yeah, everyone's here.
Oh, okay, cool. Yeah, I can search room 1 if you guys are okay with that.
Yeah, go for it.
I'm going to 4.
Is it
Take
is
2.
it dark? Is it like dimly lit?
I guess I'll be 3.
Okay.
What are we kind of going with?
So I'm assuming it's probably daytime.
Daytime.
It's probably mid-afternoon, but again, remember there's a lot of fog involved, so when there's daylight versus when there's not daylight, it's hard to tell exactly what time it is more specifically than whether there's daylight or not.
Just got out of the fog.
Controversial opinion. I don't know if we should split up. I mean,
So in here, there's no fog, right? So there's no fog inside, but there's also no like. I don't think there's any working like electricity in here. No lamps, no lights, none of that stuff.
and is it kind of like a hallway? Do you have like a picture up of what it looks like? Like a setup?
So I don't have a picture of this. I'm just momentarily constructing this in my mind. So there's the main square room, right? And then the first room is on the left wall. The rooms 2 and 3 are on the back wall, and room 4 is on that right wall. Does that make sense?
Yeah. So in the center of the room, I'm gonna like snap my fingers and cast create bonfire, so we have a little bit of light to work with.
In the main room or in your room?
In the main room.
Okay, in the main room. Yeah.
There's
I'm
not-
gonna immediately snap my fingers and turn that off because create bonfire lights a large fire on the ground of what's supposed to be our main base.
I could cast
It is,
light as a cantrip.
as I said, it is mid-afternoon, so there's enough light to work or to search for sure, but like it's just not like bright light.
Okay.
Sorry, I just thought burning down our base would be a bad starting
You know,
point.
no, you have a point, because in my head I'm like thinking brick building, you know?
Yeah, yeah.
Damn arsonists, the lot of you.
Definitely,
Half of New
he's
York
got the right
thinks
idea.
same way, I'm sure.
It's definitely a brick building, but floors are definitely wood.
Oh, wow. I mean, yeah, then let's search our rooms, boys.
I do have light as a cantrip.
I think you should probably cast that.
All right. What's behind door number 1?
Okay,
Door number 1, what's in there?
so Connor O'Lee, are you going to door number 1? Yeah, though there are no doors, by the way. So you go into
Does
room number
anyone-
1.
First, does anyone want a light? Because I cast this on an object.
Hold on. Why don't you put it on my sword? That works.
Okay.
Okay, so Connor O'Leary with your lit sword, you go into room number 1. In room number 1, it looks like this was once upon a time, like the shopkeeper's office, if this was once a shop. So there's a desk, there's a bunch of parchment and like office supplies scattered all over the place. There is a nice big safe that is like no one would want to move that thing, so it just got left behind. But it's closed. It appears to be locked. That's really all you'd like. There's chairs, obviously, but some of the chairs are broken and in pieces. None of the chairs seem comfortable to sit in at the moment. Yeah, that is what you find in room 1.
Okay. I'm gonna kind of call out to the rest of the group. Nothing here.
Door number 2.
Door number 2. Who goes into door number 2?
That would be me.
Okay. In room 2, again, because there are no doors. In room 2, this definitely looks like it was stock room. So there's like they're basically just shelves. You can see a few boxes that seem to be empty or just filled with miscellaneous junk. Nothing of necessarily import. If you wanted to search some of what remains on the shelves more thoroughly, you could.
I will do that. Roll an investigation check, I assume?
Yep.
I got a 10.
So a lot of what you find is just like junk. You do find one thing that sticks out, kind of, and that is that there's like a pen-sized silver stake. Like it's like like a stake that you used to kill a vampire, just made out of silver, and it's about the size of a pen.
I'm gonna mentally pick that up and bring it to my face, kind of examine it a bit, then shrug and float it to my backpack.
Go ahead and roll investigation when you inspect it.
22.
Okay. As you kind of like go to put it in your backpack, you're like, oh, that's whatever. It catches the light coming in through the window, the very dim light coming in through the window, and just the right way to like give you pause. And when you look at it, there's an inscription on the side that's in a language you don't understand, but you've seen this inscription somewhere before. And you're not exactly sure where, but you're pretty sure you've seen it like in your childhood at some point.
Interesting. I will pocket it.
That's all you
So
find.
Stake with familiar rune.
Who's going into room number 3? Unless you have something else you want to look for.
I do have one question. Of the few documents I have there, do I have any idea of what information was stored here? Like,
It would
What
have
was
been.
this place?
So it's an inventory list, obviously, because you're in like the stock room. And from the items you see, it seems to be like some sort of general, almost a general store, but like like for like office supply, not like office supplies, but like anything you would need as a business person. Like there seems to be like very fine dresses, very fine suits. Obviously, there are only really parts remaining, so shirts, ties, that sort of thing. Almost like maybe this was a combination like tailor and fine writing supplies kind of store.
Gotcha.
That kind of vibe.
Sounds good.
In room 3. Who goes into room 3?
That would be me.
In room 3, you find what seems to be... It seems to be a room that would have... Like, there's a cot in one corner. It seems to be like this was where the store owner might have slept when they were here. There's not a whole lot else in this room that you see at first glance. If you wanted to make checks, you could look further, but that's basically all it's here. It looks like someone was living in here, right? So there's a chair or a few chairs, a bookcase with some books, and there's just a cot. That's pretty much it. Anything you want to look at, Justin, specifically?
Sorry, I was muted. I said I was going to do an investigation check. I got a 25.
Saw that. That was pretty sick. Now I also realize you saw me roll. the
Yeah,
way
booming
into
blade and firebolt. As you were inspecting the room. It's a harsh
Who is-
inspection.
Who is that?
So, you guys, okay, so you rolled a 25 on inspection.
Yeah.
Investigation. You notice there's a box under the bed. Like it like maybe like it would be like a fine jewelry box. But it's very small. It's like a wooden box with like fine filigree on it. No bigger than like no bigger than like a normal sized book, I guess. No bigger than like 2 hands. It's not very big.
Yeah, a standard jewelry box.
Yeah,
But finely detailed.
correct.
Okay. I wonder why they didn't take that with them.
You
Whoever
can
lived
you
here
can pick it up
previously.
and look at it if you want to, and you get more information.
I
but-
wouldn't do that.
I mean, I might as well. Maybe we can find some clues as to who left it here and why. Maybe we can help them.
Are you gonna pick it up?
Yeah, I'm gonna take it out and maybe put it on the bed to inspect it.
Okay. So again, it's just fine filigree. It doesn't seem to be any sort of like inscription. It doesn't seem to like this. It's not like, oh, it's written in some language and it says something. No, it's just like fine filigree. The thing you do notice is on the top of the jewelry box in fine filigree is a crescent moon.
Oh.
And that kind of stands out because it's like not entirely weird to find on a jewelry box, but it seems strange that they've left something so clearly. This is an expensive thing. Weird they left behind, and yeah, it's a crescent moon.
Can I open it up?
Yeah. Go ahead and roll. Just go ahead and roll a d20 for me.
All right. That's not good. I got a 6.
Oh, bad. Oh no! I thought no.
Maybe it's something I have an advantage in or something. I don't know.
Brother, pack him up.
Why don't you make a con save?
Oh,
What'd I say? All right. What'd I say?
that's also not great.
No, it's not. I don't think it. No, that's bad. Okay.
Yeah, well, if it's charmed or if I'm being charmed, then I have advantage, and if it's magic to put me to sleep, then it can't work.
Oh, that's convenient because it does it. There's a spray of mist that comes out and hits your face as you open it.
Oh.
And
Is it mist or magic?
it's a mist.
If
But
it's magic, it can't put me to sleep. If it's physical,
it's a magic potion. It's a magic potion.
Oh, okay.
I don't. Where's that ability come from? I have to look at the fucking wording, but I think you're safe from
half-elf.
falling asleep. Oh yeah,
I'm half elf.
yeah. So I think you're fine. I don't think this is like a sleeping potion. So I think you're fine. So yeah, you just like, well, that was fun. You sneeze because it fucking went up your nose, but you seem to be fine.
Jeez.
Dusty in here, man.
Yeah. Jesus. What was
From the
that?
other room, bless you.
This box squirted at me.
I'm
Pardon?
assuming
Can I?
you guys
can
are
I
not
open
that
it
far
further
away.
to inspect?
Clipped and
Quit
shift.
making
clipped and
boxes
shift.
wet.
You guys are definitely close enough where you could hear each other, right?
Let me get this straight. I hear the fumbling of like a wooden box.
A
and then-
spritz, and
and then
then
I hear
man, this box squirted at me.
and I hear a guy speak.
Yes.
Meandering over.
Can I open the box?
When you open the box, it's a velvet interior. There's only one thing sitting in the box, and it is I'm trying to think what they're fucking called. It's like the thing. It's a stamp, right, that you put on wax. They use in wax. It's a seal, right?
Yeah,
This is a wax seal, like not like It's a thing you
like the thing used to
Yes,
imprint
that.
a seal on something.
Yes, it is one of those full silver, and it's the only thing in this box.
Oh. Can I look at what the image that it seals onto things?
It's a crescent moon.
Oh gosh, I figured. It's got a crescent moon on the top of the lid. It's probably a crescent moon.
All right, room 4. Jonathan Adams.
Yay! Roll, roll, roll. I'm gonna use my last lucky.
Or not strong, alright.
Wait, why are you in your last lucky already?
Don't worry about it. I used my luckies in the future.
Oh.
That is technically correct, yes.
What?
Would that mean I still have them? No.
Don't worry
let's see
about it.
here. Let's go with wow, perception. Yeah, that's just a straight 10.
So you walk into this room.
Very average.
At first glance, it very much looks like just another stock room. There's cupboards and shelves full of stuff. On closer inspection, this definitely appears to be like a tailor's office, like where you would get tailored done. Yeah, so it looks like a place in which a tailor would have worked. Sewing, that sort of thing. I believe there's probably even a sewing machine sitting in one corner of the room.
Cool.
Wait, they left their sewing machine?
Heavy fucking sewing machine. It's like a big machine.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
Oh. Okay.
Nothing
One
in
of
here
them
that interests me. I'm just gonna walk straight out. None of this interests me.
Okay. I'm assuming you all
And
regroup
I'm
in the main room.
actually, going to investigate the room.
Yeah, we need to figure out. All right.
Whoa, okay.
So
Actually,
whatever
I
we
think I
find-
heard
Hey!
something about box sorting.
What did you want to say, Johnny?
Oh, I never actually investigated the room I was in, so I would like to do that if I can.
Okay, yep. Go ahead.
I know a lot of things.
Yes, you fucking do.
You
Okay.
have the same investigation check as me. Goddamn.
You're in the office, correct?
Yep.
Okay, so you go over to the desk, you open a drawer. The first thing you see is a ledger. And it's a black ledger book. You could tell, like, it just looks like a ledger book. And on the front, filigreed in silver, is a crescent moon.
Hmm.
Do I know what that means?
Go ahead and roll. What are the fucking? Hold on. Oh fuck it. Give me 2 seconds.
Is that
I probably wouldn't
is
know
that
what that meant.
Norwegian? Or is
I
that
know
Well,
I wouldn't.
if it's religion, I probably would know what it meant.
it's Norwegian.
Norwegian. You can go ahead and roll. What fucking history? History, religion. Probably just history.
I have +6 in religion.
I'm not very good at the religion.
Yeah, you don't know what this is.
Oh, fancy book. I'm gonna go through it and see if I can possibly find the code for the safe.
If you're looking specifically for the code, it's on like the front cover, like the interior of the front cover. In one of the corners is a code for the safe.
Oh,
well, that's
I'll just
not
put in
very
the code for the
security
safe.
conscious.
What the heck? I'm gonna call out to the rest of the group though.
Before you start opening safes that maybe shouldn't be
yeah.
opened.
I'll make my way over with my squirting box.
Come on. I don't know. You can sit outside the.
I'm making my way over.
Yeah, all right.
And then I'm gonna start opening up the safe here. Yeah. Popping open that safe, baby.
Okay, so you put in the first 2 numbers. You go to turn it to the third number, and you realize the third number isn't there. It's not on the dial.
So like,
It's a good thing you can just keep going after you hit the other one. Just turn the other direction until it clicks.
yeah, I suppose. So I just. So like.
I should
number
not know
doesn't
how to crack
exist on the
safes.
dial? Or there's like.
He's just opening it.
I don't know if Jonathan would know that. So I don't know if that was the character.
Wilhelm might.
The number, the third, so the numbers, so for instance, I think the code is something like 352375.
Okay.
The dial goes all the way to 100. 75 is missing.
Oh, like the number, or
Like the
does it
number.
just skip over that?
Off.
Yeah.
Oh, then just go to where there isn't a number where 75 should be.
No, like there isn't. It jumps. You can see the numbers 74, 76 are right next to each other.
Oh.
Sometimes you just gotta take it as a sign, and I'm gonna walk away from the safe. Yeah, I'm just gonna leave the safe because I mean.
Can I do a deception check on the ledger?
That's not how deception works, but you could roll an insight on the ledger.
Okay, that might be more fitting.
I mean, maybe. Up to you, though.
Okay, I'm not very insightful.
No, you're like, well, I mean, that seems to be the code.
that looks like it's a code to a safe to me.
I say, mind if I take a crack at it? And ask for the book. Yes? No? Oh, I just lost all of your guys' voice for a bit.
No, I'm
Oh,
still here.
no, I'm just waiting for Johnny to
I'm
respond.
waiting for
I
Connor.
saw everybody's names lighting up, but nothing was happening.
Oh.
Good now. I can hear everybody now.
None of us talked, I don't think.
Well, it's weird. I saw people's names light up, so oh well.
Who has the book?
You want to hand him the book?
Oh,
Connor over
I take the offered book, I think, and I roll an insight check on it, looking to see if there's some code in there.
Yeah, roll insight with advantage.
I completely forgot I was holding on to the book, so that's on me.
advantage. It's advantage. Goddamn.
I got a
Just
5
walked
and
out
a
with the book.
19. 1 sec, I gotta add my insight to it. Where is it? Insight.
You got it.
Dirty 20.
Yeah. So you look at this code. So, sorry, are you running just an insight check on it, or an
Yes.
investigation?
Oh, I suppose I thought I'm looking specifically for a code in there that is not in writing. I thought insight was it, but if it's investigation, I actually do have a higher investigation. It's a 23 if it's investigation. I just didn't
Okay.
know which was which.
Yeah, definitely an investigation in this case, right? Insight is just
Okay.
is the book lying, which is a
Gotcha.
silly thing because
I was looking for the code.
Oh,
Right.
That was what I was rolling for. Okay.
yeah, I mean, yes. Investigation. I had 23. So you see this code on the back of the cover, the front cover. As you flip through the pages, you notice that instead of page numbers, it's phases of the moon. And so as you flip through the pages, when you come to the page that like would be numbered 75, instead of 75, there's obviously a moon phase, and that moon phase is it's a new moon. So it's essentially, if you were put that in moon phase numbers, that would be 0.
All right. I relay what I just figured out to the party, and then I attempt it on the door.
The safe opens with that new code. Inside the safe, is a sitting on our shelf. It's the only thing in the safe. Is hold on. Let me do a roll.
Yeah, you do that. Also, I realized the light on my sword is redundant because it already glows.
Yep, I wondered if you figured that out.
So you were holding out a glowing sword to me and said, "Yeah, put light on this."
Yeah,
Yeah.
do it, man.
So, I mean, all right, if you
You know what?
insist.
You can't argue with people